Three free plays in Major League Baseball for Monday, June 23rd. Will the Mets snap out of their tailspin and exact some revenge on the Braves? Mark Zinno has the answer for you there. Plus, you should expect plenty of runs in two other games tonight. So if you're someone that likes to bet overs in Major League Baseball, please stay tuned. But first, Mark Zinno, a new NBA champion, has been crowned. My mentions on social media, officially safe, I do believe, at this point.
Yeah, you put way too much into that.
Well, look, it's new to me, so excuse me for that. But the Oklahoma City Thunder have prevailed. Thank you, by the way, to all of you who joined me last night for that 5% play. For a half, I didn't know what the hell I was watching, but in the end, the better team did win. I'll say this. Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, we caught a break with that injury. So, no, I did, at least. I think it is completely unfair for someone to get up here on Monday, June 23rd and say definitively, oh, the Pacers would have won had Halliburton not gotten hurt. Or the result definitely would have been the same had he not gotten hurt. You don't know. At the end of the day, I'll take the result.
I'll never be able to understand Oklahoma City in these finals. Wasn't the team to watch for 82 regular season games. They showed up for one game. They played like shit the other 6 games. They really did. They did not play well.
I smash that like button, everyone. If you're not smashing that like button, what he just said, you don't know how to smash the like button.
They perplexing as all hell. I don't have a good answer on why that series. Well, the real answer why that series wasn't more one-sided was because they gave away game 1. If they don't give away game 1, the series is over in 5. It really is. It would have had all the other 4 games played out exactly the same. OKC would have been up 3-1 instead of 2-2. And, that's how it goes. So,
and Jay-Z would have had another $1 million to his name as well.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just, that for finals were perplexing. I'm glad this NBA season was over. I sucked. It was not a good year. And I have no answers for what I watched in the finals. I will say this much, and I'm probably being a biased Knicks fan here, but had the Knicks beaten the Pacers and Oklahoma City play like that, I felt like the Knicks had a shot to beat them. I had a shot to beat them.
And what about Boston? If Boston had gotten through to the East, or a Cleveland, perhaps? I'll say this. I think your point is well taken. Look, I said what I said. You said what I said. We said what we said about Indiana at the start of the series. And whether I put too much stock into it, social or not, it's irrelevant. They played better than I thought they would. But what you said at the outset, Mark, I could not agree with more, that Oklahoma City was just not – look, they're the NBA champions. Tip your cap to them. But they didn't play as well as I thought they would. They, objectively speaking, and you mentioned this, I believe, on Friday's program, they played their 2 worst games of the year, arguably, in this NBA Finals. Game 6 was their worst game of the year. Then Game 1 was what? Their worst shooting percentage of the season?
3rd worst shooting percentage of the entire season, but 5th time they shot below 40% in a game. So, I mean, it just, again, I don't have any real good answers on this finals.
It was a very interesting series for me because you know how much I put into my numbers and how much I believe in them. And this series for me was very much a trust the numbers over the eye test. Because I think if you just watch the games and weren't following the NBA all season long, you'd probably be like, why the hell is Oklahoma City this big of a favorite?
I mean,
every game. But my numbers said they should have been. And at the end, they pulled away. And I'll take it.
They manhandled Minnesota. And the fact that they were the 4th largest favorite in NBA Finals history. That wasn't because the teams were close on paper.
No.
Because
you're exactly right.
They were very far apart on paper, on the court, and pretty much in every major metric which odds makers use to define and power rate and power rank teams. So, again, I'm sure the books made some good coin on the public running to bet OKC.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I wanted to say this because I texted you 15 minutes before tip off. I texted you and our good friend Kelly Stewart. Well, I guess we're the only people who believe in Oklahoma City in this Game 7. And I'll say this: people, if they saw it at Bryan Power _wins on Twitter, I tweeted out the 5% play on Oklahoma City. I bet him at -7.5. Obviously, that was not a banner handicapping effort from a CLV perspective, Mark. But I'm just going to come out and say it to what you talked about, on paper, what the numbers said about these two teams. I made last night's game -10.8, the spread. So I was fully comfortable. When it closed at 6.5, I texted you. I said, either I am just completely off or everyone else is wrong. And I guess we found out which was which.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, too, what kept that game close in the first half, when Halliburton went out, I'm not sure that OKC knew what to do for extended stretches without him. And
no killer instinct. I hate.
Yeah, I think that they let up a little bit. I think that they thought it was going to be easier than it was, but they couldn't hit a shot in the first half.
That's what it was. It was the 3-point shooting. Indiana won the 3-point game in the first half, and that's what kept them in it. I really, really hate when media types are like, oh, Jordan would do this or Kobe would do that. Watching Oklahoma City last night was kind of like, damn it, Jordan would do this or Kobe would do that. They would put this team out of its misery. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? But they eventually won and they covered the spread. So that's an NBA season, if I may, that ended pretty well for yours truly. I got pretty lucky the last two games. There's no doubt about it, but we ended on a 12-1 run. I'll take that every time. Probably one of the better runs in the NBA that I'll ever have. So thanks to everyone who was on board. Really appreciate it. But that's basketball. It's done, and we now look forward, Mark Zinno, to Major League Baseball. They're calling this the dog days of summer on social media.
I'd rather look forward to being awake for a colonoscopy the way I've been betting baseball lately.
And this man has had a colonoscopy.
3
I will say for the 3. That is for the record. Maybe a different show for a different day. By the way, Mark, before we get in to today's double play, we can't bury the lead here, can we? This is a banner day in the history of the morning wager. What do I mean by that? Well, of course, for the past 14 months, you've been able to find Mark and I each and every day right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Well, now, Mark, you can find us. You can find this show along with many of your other favorite WagerTalk programs on all major podcasting platforms, from Apple to iHeart to Spotify, proving once again, Mark Zinno, that anything is possible in the United States of America, as you and I are now on all major podcasting platforms.
Only took the powers that be 14 months to actually
get it. Okay. Well, I think everyone has been on there. We weren't waiting. We were part of the select. You stop it.
I'm just saying. Only took 14 months.
Hey, I'm proud. I bragged the other week at a party. I said, excuse me, my name is Bryan Power, and I am now available on all major podcasting platforms.
You're such a douche. You actually would say that out loud.
My wife was getting upset. Many women were just flocking to me. It was
yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how it went.
That's it. It happened.
Getting upset because you kept annoying her by repeating it. Like hearing it.
She was shoving women to the wall. That's my man. It was unbelievable. I'll share the videos at a different time.
She doesn't watch and she doesn't care, which is why she was telling you to shut up.
I came upstairs after the game. I said, well, honey, Oklahoma City won, so I can look back on social media. They're not going to call your husband those nasty names anymore. She looked up from reading a book and said, oh, that's nice.
I mean, she can just go back to calling you the nasty name she normally did. She didn't have to take any advice from social media. So there's that.
No, there you go. I mean, it might have been her that was leading that brigade. Well, maybe it wasn't Indiana Pacers fans. All right, let's talk about this. I like when you texted me that this would be your half of the double play, Mark Zinno, I smiled. I will be talking about this game on WagerTalk today with Andy Lang coming up at in the noon hour. If you want to check that show out, I've got a different angle on this game.
WagerTalk today. Who's up in front of you? What's the lineup?
Gianni and Crack, and then me. So there you go. I'll be talking.
Sweating going on? Will anybody be sweating?
Stop it. I'm kind of. By the way, this heat wave across Ohio, I'm not built for 90-degree weather. Okay, I don't like 90 degrees. I'm going to make a comment that's going to shock America right now. I don't like it when it gets above 75 degrees.
Dude, I golfed in 95 degrees, searing Central Texas heat for 3 straight days.
Well, you've fought the enemy in Iraq for many months. I mean, what are you going to say? You're a tougher guy than me.
I was at University of Texas Golf Club. Brian Power, let's back this up here real quick before we get into the plays. People want to hear the plays. But anyway, I played two rounds of golf this weekend. What do you think over under? Just set a line over under the amount I paid for combined both rounds of golf.
Oh, how much you paid? Because I was going to say, were you over under? Because you had set 92 for 18 holes. Did you go over or under that?
I did on Friday. I didn't. Well, we played 27 on Sunday. But no, I didn't on the second 18 on Sunday.
A little gassed, perhaps?
No, I had 6 pars and still managed to shoot 16 over. I was either feast or famine. I was either double, triple, or a par or a birdie. I had a par and 6 birdies and still shot 16 over. It's miserable. Anyway.
All right. How much did you pay? I don't know. $500.
A little bit lower than that. I paid $350 between 2 rounds of golf. That was pretty much the most I've ever paid in my life for 2 rounds of golf.
I guess high.
University of Texas Golf Club, which is immaculate. They, hook 'em horns. The hook 'em thing. They have like so many. So each golf cart has like a Texas player on it. Like we had the Durant golf cart with 35 on it.
Oh, how appropriate! After he's traded.
I know. But there were everybody had Quinn Ewers had a guy, Colt McCoy, like all these Texas athletes had their own golf cart it wasn't their own golf cart, but each cart was numbered based off of the individual. It was a beautiful, beautiful golf club. I mean,
I like Austin, Texas quite a bit. I've mentioned that on the show before. And you like the New York Mets on Monday. But I think you also dislike the Atlanta Braves. Is that what this is about? Tell me, because the Mets are coming off a loss on Sunday night. They have not been playing well at all. They were swept down in Atlanta last week. But is it the revenge angle? Is it the price? Because I'll be honest with you, as bad as the Mets have been, I don't think they should be available at this price at home against the Atlanta Braves.
Well, that was the only thing that really drew my mind to it. I didn't even look at the starters. I just looked at the fact that the Braves are a road favorite against a division rival. And thought the number was absolutely ludicrous. Like, it's not Chris Sale starting. If it was Chris Sale starting, okay, I get Atlanta minus 135. And again, caution, folks, do the opposite. So, take the George Costanza angle on anything I say. Just do the opposite. So you might want to run and bet the Braves tonight. But I know Paul Blackburn is starting. He's only making his 3rd start of the year. He started a week ago against the Braves, gave up 4 runs in 3 2/3, didn't exactly pitch great. I always like to, especially when you get this situation where a guy goes out on the road, starts against a team, doesn't do well, then come back in his very next start, which is the case here, at home against the same team, you usually get the opposite result. He'll make the adjustments. The Braves are still not a team that you trust to score a ton of runs. And the revenge angle here. Again, I mean, this is also a ballpark that doesn't score a lot of runs. Like I would also look at a first 5 under. Which might means you probably should go play the first 5 over. So, but all that said, I just disagree with the price that the Braves should be a road favorite against the Mets, especially given the fact that they just swept them and the Mets need to get a win and have been playing badly. That number has nothing to do with the Braves are trending up and the Mets are trending down, because that's not the reality. The Braves just lost 2 or 3 from the Marlins, for crying out loud. It's a bad baseball team. It's a bad baseball team. They're not good. I don't know why you and the odds makers and power ratings still think that this is a team that's going to make the playoffs. They're not.
I think I've said my piece that I would be shocked at this point if they made the play. It'll take quite a run. But smash that like button if you're rolling with Mark and the Mets as an underdog here on Monday. Again, I'll be talking about that game on WagerTalk TV. It's a different approach, Mark, but I'm kind of seeing it the same way. I'll be betting against the Braves in a different fashion there. From New York, I take you next to the south side of Chicago, where the White Sox are hosting the Diamondbacks. I'm in agreement with the market here in liking the over. Total already moved from 8.5 to 9, and I wouldn't be surprised if this gets to 9.5 because it is juiced to the over at 9. Now, I wouldn't like the over as much at 9.5. However, I mentioned this earlier. Heat wave across the Midwest. That means hitter-friendly conditions. The Diamondbacks lineup, you look at their season, Mark, their splits, much better against righties. Number 4 in WRC this season. WRC Plus, I should make that note. They face a righty here in Shane Smith, who has been good for the most part, but did just give up 6 runs his last time out. Meanwhile, I know the White Sox offense, not great, not known for hitting the cover off the ball, but guess what? Over the last 30 days, they are top 10 in WRC plus against lefties. And the D-backs happen to be sending a southpaw, Eduardo Rodriguez, to the bump. Rodriguez, as you know, not very good. 5.93 ERA this season. He's given up an average of 4 runs over his last 10 starts. Neither of these bullpens is all that good. So over 9 is my half of the double play. Smash that like button if you agree. Mark Zinno, do you agree by any chance?
Sure.
It was really my favorite part of the show was that question, what you were going to say when I threw it to you.
I mean, yeah. I have no clue right now. Again, I'm just not.
We are guys down in the comments section below. Let us, and you know, one of the great developments here of the Morning Wager, not just that we are now available on all major podcasting platforms, but it is that Billy of all people has come to your aid in the comments section and your support. I think we all need to support Mark. Let's get Mark. That my goal here before the end of June is to get that frown turned upside down on Mark Zinno. I texted him this last night after the game, to which he responded, "You're drunk." And I said, "Well, I'm glad that you know that, but I'm very happy about Oklahoma City." And there we go. But we are going to turn it around, Mark. I see that smile peeking out. I see it peeking out, buddy.
I just, again, it's see you in football. See you in football.
Oh, are you not coming tomorrow to the show? Or?
Oh, I'll be on the show. I'm just see you in
okay.
football.
Okay. I would be remiss if I did not mention what is going on over at WT.buzz/BP. If I may get through this, sir, before we get to our best bet for the show today. 36, 18, and 1, all sports, the last 30 days. That's 67%. Pretty good. This is one of our better runs, certainly in a while. Number 1, last 30 days at WagerTalk. I mentioned the 12-1 run to end the NBA season. It wasn't the regular season I'd hoped for, but boy, did we end the playoffs in style. Also, not to be outdone, I have cashed 5 straight best bets in Major League Baseball. I have 2 plays on the diamond for Monday. They are currently available at my page, WT.buzz/BP. Still time to get down on that 30-day offer, by the way. You get 30 days worth of picks for just the price of 14 days. $6.63 per day, over $100 savings. You saw how I did the last 30 days. You want to get on board for the next 30? Again, WT.buzz/BP. All right. It's a best bet. Yankees and Reds. I picked this not only because I believe this game will, in fact, go over 10, but I thought it would pique your interest, Marks. And anytime we talk about the New York Yankees, certainly you have something to say. These are arguably 2 of the more feast or famine lineups in all of baseball, right? I think they both feast today. Not exactly the best starting pitching matchup. I mean, look, the Yankees, as much as you hate Aaron Boone, and you have your reasons, as much as they went into that mid-June swoon, dare we say, at the plate, they're still number 3 in runs per game. And Cincinnati could score 2. So over 10. That's the way that the total's moving, too. Guys, this is going to move to 10.5, I think.
I mean, who the hell is starting for the Yankees? Who the hell is Alan Winans?
I thought maybe you knew him. I thought he was a friend of yours.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. Nick Lodolo is bad at home. He's got an ERA over 5. He's given up 9 of his 11 home runs at home. Again, hard to trust the Yankees when it comes to scoring runs. If they don't get to him early, guess what? They probably ain't getting to him late. But
the Reds have a bad bullpen, though. The Reds bullpen blows it always at the worst times. We saw that over the weekend against St. Louis.
Starts. He came from Atlanta last year.
Oh, so he's hitting all your favorite teams.
Yeah, he was 0-2 in 2 games started last year with an ERA of 15.26.
That's not on the leaderboard.
It's a little bit high. He had a negative WAR last year.
Oh, WAR. What is it good for? Comments.
I mean, Iran is good for it.
I stop it. Okay, that meant you too. Okay.
Opponent OPS is 1250. In case you were wondering, AKA all this adds up to Alan Winans sucks.
Okay, that is the technical handicap, I believe. Yes. Okay.
So
it's a best bet. Yankees Reds over 10. A lot of runs. I think of that game. That's to go, and I think there's gonna be a lot of runs in Diamondbacks White Sox. And then you heard Mark Zinno at the top of the show talk about the Mets. He likes the Mets as a home underdog against the Braves. Comment down below with your thoughts on each and every one of those selections. Comment down below with what your favorite plays are for Monday. We always enjoy seeing that. And remember to smash that like button. And the fact, I'll say it again for the third time, we are available on all major podcasting platforms. We've made it, Mark.
Big deal. It's a big deal.
We've made it. I believe.
Oh, my mother.
You know who's sweating? You know who's sweating today?
Oh,
Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, because he's about to fall to number 2 in the podcast rankings. He's still number 1.
Placed. Sportsbooks.
I don't follow that kind of stuff. So, all right, everybody. For Mark Zinno, he's smiling. Look at him, everybody. He's smiling.
I'm only smiling because,
because I'm a great guy.
No, because you're a pansy. But that's neither here nor there.
No, that was uncalled for.
Yeah, but
why would you say something like that?
You know why I said it. You know exactly the reason why I said it.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, because I tried to make a comment and a joke, and you're quickly diverting the topic away from it because you are a pansy.
It's wrong. It was you that was speaking about me on social media, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. I don't have time for burner accounts. Why would I go to social media to insult you when I can do it to your face every day and not get paid for it?
That is a very good point that you just made. I have no response to that. If you have a response, please comment down below. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show today. A new week. First show in the books. Remember, wt.buzz/BP, wt.buzz. I'm
glad that nobody heard anything you said there.
Well, they heard it. We've been through this before. They hear it. You might not have heard it, but they heard it.
Okay.
They heard it.
I didn't hear it.
All right, everybody. Don't worry about it. All right, let's cash some tickets, everybody.